Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your August 16th, 2023 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps this channel be seen by the YouTube algorithm, getting me out of the purgatory I've been put in since having to take time off to take care of sick family members. So, thank you so very much. You guys mean the absolute world to me. If you are interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, and animal healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. And if you're having trouble booking a reading, you can email me at daneharttarot@gmail.com. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below, as will a link to my website. So before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of here, Taurus, during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Five of Swords. We win a battle, okay? But we need to just be mindful of the fact of being exhausted, needing to take it easy, taking care of ourselves, putting our health first, putting ourselves first. That's going to be really important. We win. The Five of Swords is having to face things that we thought were done. We thought were done. We thought were taken care of, and having to face certain battles that we just don't want to. So just be aware of this. This can really weigh heavily on us during this time. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Here we have authentic reversed. We need to step into being our authentic selves. Now, we can be having a bit of difficulty with that. Venus, as we will see, which we're ruled by Venus, has been in the underworld during this time. And so we can have a bit of a hard time connecting with what we truly love, what we truly want, what we truly desire. This can be a time of seeking, of questioning, of looking. And so it can be a bit intense, and we don't feel like we're connecting with who we are authentically, like what we authentically want. We can feel like we're just dealing with a lot that's just thrown at us, and especially thrown at our hearts. So just be aware of this. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Oh, I love that. Starting off, crowned by the high priestess, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, which is so relevant to this moon. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay, I knew the Ace of Cups was going to come out. I was like, oh, strong heart energy, which we were already talking about with just be aware of the heart, feeding your heart, taking care of your heart is going to be just so important for you during this time. And making sure that you're being heart healthy. Cut out the sugar if you can. That's not good for the heart at all. Okay. So let's talk about this time. We are here as the Page of Pentacles reverse. We really don't want to be a student. We've kind of learned enough. We feel like we've taken in enough. Thank you very much. It's time to move forward. It's time to move on from there. But know that we're going to be getting a lot of things that later on we look at and say, oh, wow, that was a valuable lesson. Or, oh, wow, I didn't look at it that way. Let me just see if I can fix my camera so this can be a little bit straighter for you guys. So let's talk about this time, astrologically speaking. The new moon and, well, okay. So the new moon and the sun are in Leo. The new moon is 23 degrees of Leo, and we are going to be very stubborn during this time, just very stubborn. We are all going to be very stubborn, but also very open to new ideas and new beliefs. Leo brings confidence, creativity, vitality, a love of life, enthusiasm. Natural leadership starts really moving forward within us. We're taking the bull by the horns, pun intended. Intended. This is also being the hero of our story and seeing ourselves as the hero of our story and letting ourselves shine and letting those around us shine. We have the repeat of the number 10, one very positive 10, the 10 of Pentacles, and one 10 that, is kind of on the fence. It can be positive, it can be seen as negative. It depends on where we are in our journey. But we're coming to a place of transformation, a place of rebirth. And that's what the new moon is all about. The new moon is a time of darkness between lunar cycles. This is also seen as a time when the moon is in the underworld. It's not in our sky. It's seen as going on that underworld journey, a time of death, a time of rebirth. And it's a time not for manifestation. It is a time to really be self-reflective and say, what is it that I need? What is it that I want? How is it that I need to move forward for me and what I desire in my life? So just know that, Taurus, we are master manifestors. But this is a time for self reflection. This is a time to say, what do I need in my life? Venus is also in the underworld with the new moon, which we have talked about just a little bit earlier. And we're going to see that as they're in the underworld at the same time, because Venus is conjunct the moon and the sun, she's moving from being the evening star to being our morning star. She's changing her face in the night sky. We are changing our face to the world and what we're showing and what we desire and what we want. Now, there's a T square Pluto, and the lunar nodes are here during this time. And this brings us very conflicting energy. It brings, fear versus love, victim versus creator comes forward. The black moon, Lilith, is at 24 degrees of Leo. And this is really linked with the new moon and really symbolizes wild, instinctive femininity. And that femininity represented with the high priestess coming through, that, that femininity that is sacred, that is feared. The sacred feminine and the high priestess are one and the same. And that sacred feminine energy is a going theme throughout this lunar cycle, throughout this moon. And also because we start with a supermoon, right? We start on the 1st with a supermoon. We end on the 31st with a supermoon. This is a very, very powerful time. Now, Venus is conjunct the new moon and the black moon Lilith, bringing rebellious energy, especially around the heart. What do we want? What do we love? What are we looking for? Be aware of that. If we feel rebellious around our emotions, it's, we can look at the heavens and see why. Uranus is squared the sun and the moon. This brings individuality. This brings us speaking truth. This brings us, and this calls us to be brave and also to fully be ourselves. So it's kind of pushing us forward. We're going to see here that Jupiter is trine Mercury. This brings big ideas and expansion of the mind. We're a little bit resistant to this because we don't want to be a student, but we're going to find that this opens up a lot of opportunities to learn. Mars is conjunct Mercury, all right? Now, this is very good and practical, and it has us looking at our health, has us looking at what we desire for our well-being. We might be much more health conscious during this time, or become much more health conscious for the rest of our lives. Mars is opposing Neptune. Pay attention to this. Mars is all about goals, obtaining our goals. Neptune is all about our dreams. Our goals and our dreams might seem separate, or we have our drive, we have what we're going after, but the dream, the spark, the imagination, it just isn't there. And that can be very overwhelming to us. We can feel like, oh my gosh, I failed, and we didn't. So just be aware of this. It's not a time to throw in the handkerchief or whatever that saying is. If you know it, link it down below, put it in the comment box. But, we're not ready to give up, but we need to realign ourselves with what makes us passionate, because our dreams are what give us our passion. It's kind of like, I see this kind of linked to REM sleep, not as much as for Aries. If you're born on the cusp with Aries, though, really watch your sleep during this time. But it's just like when you don't get enough REM sleep and your watch or your ring or whatever tells you that you might not be as creative. You might not be as, ready to conquer problems. That's what I see Mars opposing Neptune like. It just makes us not as creative, not as, able to conquer the problems and see the different avenues that we could usually easily see. Now, the Sun, the Moon, and Venus are close to the royal star Regulus. This is the heart of the lion. This is the heart of the Leo constellation. And this is urging us to come back to our hearts, come back to what we love. Venus, and this is important for us because, again, we're ruled by Venus. Venus, as she rises to the morning star, is right above Hydra. Okay? This is the serpent that signifies the sacred feminine. The sacred feminine is what crowns us right here. This is very important to us. The sacred feminine who has also been in the underworld. Now, coming forward, we're going to see a lot of rebirth energy around this time. And we're going to feel that like we're being reborn, we're being re empowered. Saturn is in the stars of Aquarius. So if you are linked to Aquarius in any way, pay attention. The waters, they're the water bearers, right? The waters are coming forward during this time, pouring water, pouring living water and energy and life and wisdom onto the earth. Saturn is reminding us that we are energetic beings. We need to feed the energy that is us. We need to feed that spirit, that soul, that energy being. So be very mindful of what you're consuming during this time, logically, spiritually. Uranus and Jupiter are squaring the new moon and Venus. Now, this is close to the head of Cetus, the whale. Now, Cetus the whale is reminding us of our wisdom and the wisdom that runs in the deep waters, the deep, sacred, healing waters, and also connecting us again with that sacred feminine energy that holds the waters in our bodies, that holds the waters of life for us. So we're starting here with the sacred feminine. We're starting with that connection with Venus coming through very, very powerfully. And here, upright, it's about secrets. It's about the unseen world. This is a time where we're really looking at our hearts, what we desire, what we want, what we need, how we need to move forward for ourselves, and what we love. And this is going to be a time where we step into the heart of us. This is going to be a time where the veil is lifted back and we start to say, where do I want to be? We start to see the world in a new way. We start to see things in different ways. We start to claim ourselves and say, how do I need to move forward for me? What do I desire for me? The high priestess has us connecting with that sacred feminine energy, has us connecting to the rebirth of Venus, has us connecting to the rebirth of ourselves in what we desire and what we want. And it doesn't matter how we identify ourselves. It matters that we're letting the balance of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine come forward. We're letting the balance of the authority in our lives, kind of that energy of Mars. I always see Mars as very, very, very masculine energy, right? And that balance of Mars, who is like, okay, this is what we're doing, this is what we're going after, and then the Venus energy, and then the love energy, the heart energy coming forward, much more quiet. It's kind of like the difference between Merlin in mythology and the oracles of Delphi. You had to go to the oracles of Delphi. Yes, you could say that they were breathing in these, hypnotic fumes from this certain cave, and so of course you had to go to them. But Merlin in mythology, he's always right there. He always shows up. But you have to go to the oracles of Delphi, and people went from all over the ancient world. Alexander the Great got his fortune told. I think that's so cool. Here, it's like you have to go. You have to step into that energy. During this time, can we step into the energy of kind of being our own prophet, of saying, what do I need? What do I love? What do I want? What is guiding me forward? What is it that I used to see that no longer rings true in my life? We're going to find that even though this is not a time where we want to be a student at all, this is a time where we learn the most. We're empowered, we're emboldened, we're going after, we're looking at things differently. Reverse, though, with the pentacles, the page of pentacles reversed, we're looking at things and wanting them to be straightforward answers. And that's going to be something that frustrates us during this time. We don't really get the straightforward answers that we want. It's going to be deeper. It's going to be more. It's going to be, a little bit messier than we want it to be. It doesn't mean that it's not straightforward, but there's also a little bit of like, well, how do I traverse this? Or how do I move forward with this? Or, can you just say, can it just be a yes or no? Like, can I just have yes or no right now? Because that's what I really want. But it's all going to be much more nuanced. So be aware of that. But this is a time where we are going to see as we step out of this new moon energy, and this energy can last from new moon to new moon, okay? But as we step out of this new moon energy, we are going to see ourselves looking at things and being like, oh, wow, I learned that lesson during this time of the new moon. Oh, wow, I saw that differently during this time of the new moon. Oh, wow, answers were given to me during this time of the new moon. And it brings us to Two of Pentacles reversed. It brings us to a time where things aren't really as balanced as we want them to be. It's like things are up in the air and we can't balance it. I just see it as I'm seeing the pentacles as being pulled away from us. You can't balance this. You can't fix this. This isn't in your control. And that's going to be something, Taurus, super frustrating, right? Super frustrating. But also, it's going to end up being super beneficial. It's going to be like, oh, wow, this was taken off of my shoulders. I didn't need to balance it and make it neat and make it proper and make it, everything that I think it's supposed to be. This is for somebody else to handle. This is for somebody else to actualize. So just be aware of that. The Ten of Pentacles is prosperity that lasts for generations. This is generational wealth. This is generational prosperity. This is a generational blessing. We tend to talk a lot about generational curses. This is a generational blessing. This is all the good things that molded you, shaped you, raised you, guided you coming forward. This is passing it on to children, grandchildren. This is passing it on to if you don't have children, which you don't need to, this is passing it on to the next generation of the world. Sharing that energy, sharing that vibrational power, richness, wealth, moving you forward quite successfully and quite powerfully. The Ten of Pentacles is this real sense of prosperity, of bounty, of brilliance, and of beauty of you. It really, really is. It's wealth or what you value as much as money, settling, moving forward in a blessing, moving forward in a connection. With the Ace of Cups, this is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of healing, beautiful love. Now, do we take it instantaneously during this time? Well, we have to see what our subconscious energy is. But right now, it's a no. Right now, we don't take this instantaneously. But my gosh, do I see your heart being lightened by the end of August? There's a sense of I'm going through this time of purging emotionally, of releasing, of, letting go, of just like sitting there and saying, okay, I see it, I know it, I'm not ruled by it. The Ace of Cups stirs up everything that we've buried deep down within ourselves, everything that we've, pushed down, not seen, not thought about, but that hurts us, that has hurt us, that has scarred us, that has overwhelmed us. And it's like, okay, it's time to release this. Then to move towards what we love, what we desire, what empowers us, emboldens us, rejoices within us. And we're going to find that as we do, this can be a time of tears. This can be a time of laughter that brings tears, of joy, of prosperity. But with the Ten of Swords, it's a time where we see all the hurts, all the pains, all the trauma we've been carrying for 10 years. Or, in the last 10 days, they could be really, really intense. It depends on your personal journey. But we're going to see that released. We're going to see ourselves stepping forward in our energy, in our power, in what we desire, in what we want. And using all that hurt that we have been through, that we thought there was no reason for this. But it's going to be what empowers us, emboldens us, enlightens us, moves us forward in a way that is extraordinary. And now we have a wealth. Remember, swords are like the most expensive thing. People's lives were changed in ancient times when they were given a sword. Your family was elevated. You were elevated in your clan, in your tribe, in your, in your station in life. You were raised up by being given a sword. And no one would leave 10 swords in anybody's back. They wouldn't even leave one, because that was a fortune. That was a life-changing, piece of equipment, piece of weaponry. These are life-changing moments. And they can happen, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. Life-changing moments, 10 of them can happen all at once instantaneously. It depends on our journey and what is in our Akashic records. We are going to see ourselves rising. This is about us rising. This isn't about, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, goals, 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 achieve, achieve, achieve. This is about stepping back and saying, wow, have I been through a lot? Wow, am I strong? And I am rising into me. I'm being reborn like the phoenix from the ashes. I am rising. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So I love that you have that balance of feminine and masculine energy coming forward right here with the masculine, the lunar god. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, I love that. The new moon in Leo. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. With the full moon energy reverse, the full moon in Taurus, so we're not connecting fully with our own energy, which can make sense and does make sense since Venus is in the underworld waiting to be reborn. And the full moon energy, which will be on the 31st of August, that's surrendering. We're having a hard time. We want to be the warrior. We want to be the warrior. We are the warrior. We're very much a being of action. So just be aware of that. When we have the high priestess, we have patience come forward. And then reverse, we have adjustments are required. We're not making those adjustments. We need to have patience. We might not like to have patience, but the high priestess always brings patience with her. So being aware of that is a super important thing. Having patience as we step into our power, as we connect with divinity, as we connect with our spiritual journey and understanding, adjustments are required. We're going to need to make some adjustments. We're not going to want to. And Spirit's like, that's okay. You could not want to, but you're going to have to. So just be aware of that. Be aware, Taurus. Like Spirit's like, yeah, I don't really care, which is always cute. Confidence is your key to success. We have the upright new moon in Leo. We have us assessing as we're not wanting to be a student, but we're confident. Like here, confidence is your key to success. Let the sun shine. Leo is ruled by the sun. Be out in the sun. Go out in the sunlight. Let the sun be on your face. Let yourself take in those rays. It helps your eyes. Seriously, studies have been done where it helps your eyesight. It helps you in very, very positive ways. If you're going to be in the sun for a long time, of course, wear sunscreen. But here, let yourself be in the sun. Let the sun shine. Let you shine. And you're assessing as you're shining, as you're stepping into your light, your brilliance, your power, your prosperity. You're assessing. You need to assess. You need to look at the bigger picture. You need to look at all different angles. You'd be driving people up the walls with the way that you're assessing everything, looking at this side, looking at that side. You need to during this time. You need to. You're astoundingly curious. You're going after the answers. You're not seeing yourself as a student. You're seeing yourself as something more, but you're learning so much during this time. So it's a bit funny. A fiery climax approaches. Things are out of balance. I'm seeing things being put back into balance. It's in somebody else's hands, right? You can't balance everything. It's not for you to balance. It's not. An acceptance of that. A fiery climax approaches. There's an ending that's coming forward. There's a sense of everything coming to a head, of power, of insight. Believe in the impossible. As you embrace your prosperity and your purity of intention of your prosperity, your wealth, your generational blessing, and the purity of intention of those who have passed on that blessing to you with the utmost love, with the utmost care, with the utmost respect. There's a blessing like just shining on your third eye, just shining within you. Let it be. Let it absolutely guide you forward. The purity of it, the blessings from the other realm, from the spirit world, always the purest, always with the most brilliant, beautiful intentions. It's actually getting me kind of choked up because there's just the sense of, I want you to succeed. I want you to achieve. I want you to be well. Letting yourself shine. Believe in the impossible. Taurus, your world is about the impossible and bringing the impossible forward, of doing what other people are like, how did you do that? Like, how did that happen? Your dreams need a practical plan. That's reverse. Now, as the Ace of Cups comes in, you need your creative energy, but you're resistant to giving your dreams a practical plan. I see it almost as I'm resistant to calling forward my dreams, of daring even to dream because I've been disappointed before. Call forward your dreams. Embrace your creative energy. Know that there's that opposition with Mars opposing Neptune. Mars all about goals, all about, achieving, succeeding, and Neptune all about the dreams and the dreams leaving the goals. So they just feel hollow and empty. Call back your dreams. Create, create, create. Create until the blockage is gone. It's not only waiting till you're inspired, because then you will never create. Create even when the blockage is there, even when it's hard, even when it's overwhelming, even when it feels lifeless. Create, because that's what gets the heart energy flowing. That's what moves you forward. And it brings you to surrendering to the divine. Do you want to? No, but the lunar god is calling you. As you're resurrected, as you rise like that phoenix, as you're reborn, the lunar god is connecting with you. You have strong, sacred feminine, lunar goddess energy, right? Now you have lunar god energy. The balance is within you during this time. You're seeing that balance from what needs to be achieved, what needs to be succeeded at, the plans, the moving forward, the connecting with our earthly world, being grounded, being centered, to dreaming and hoping and thinking and nurturing and loving and being fierce. Both the lunar god and the lunar goddess are astoundingly fierce and bringing that fierceness forward. It's hard to surrender, and that's okay. But there's going to be a surrendering to action that is a lot easier for you. So this could be meditating, but doing a meditation that has movement to it is going to be so much easier for you than a meditation that doesn't, that requires stillness. You're going to be, impatient. There we go. That's the word. Impatient with the stillness. Be aware of that. There's a bit of antsiness to you during this time. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the King of Pentacles. Subconsciously, we can get in our own way. Seeing things too interconnected, looking at things and boiling it down too much, we can get in our own way. Be mindful of this. You won't even realize you're tripping yourself up. You're holding yourself back. You're self-sabotaging, okay? And not for all. Again, general reading, but be aware of this. We'll have a tendency to subconsciously self-sabotage, and it'll be around prosperity, wealth, success, what we value as much as money. Our subconscious spirit message here is spontaneous. We want to be spontaneous. We want things to be exciting. It doesn't have to be that we go on trips or anything like that, but we don't want to have everything planned and structured. We want things to be free flowing. Our subconscious tarot message is the Ace of Swords reversed. Be aware of your words. Be aware that right now it's like, I'm not taking everything in. Write things down, take notes, because that's going to really help. Because there's almost like there's a blockage. With the Ace of Swords, this is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of clarity of mind, of clarity of speech, of, things moving forward in a creative, logical intensity. But subconsciously, this can be a bit of fantasy, ruining the waters. And it's not that good fantasy. It's like, it's delusion. There's some sort of delusion that's coming in and spoiling things and adding a bit of rot. So just be aware of that. It could be our own delusion on a subject. It could be, I see it more as somebody else's delusion coming in and being like, I'm sorry, but how do you even see that? Like, how could you even say that type of thing? Our subconscious, there we go. Our subconscious Luna message is the new moon. A new start is coming, and this brings a powerful new start. This is the Queen of the Moon, right? You have the God of the Moon, and now you have the Queen of the Moon coming forward. This is reversed sovereignty, finding our sovereignty, finding our and claiming our power during this moon is going to be a bit difficult for us. Knowing that it is a new beginning, but also knowing that we're having a bit of difficulty claiming the God's head within us, claiming the divine energy that is our birthright and our power. Being aware of that can help us to overcome a feeling of I'm not good enough. So just be aware. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all. and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this new moon and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless, and have a blessed moon. Bye.